Good day, everyone. Again, I'm Rep. Melissa, and this is Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living. So before I get started, I just want to give a shout out to Brian. Brian, congratulations for everything that is happening for you. You are the perfect example of love ascending, the perfect example. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Brian celebrated his birthday. He's moved into a new home and he has started a new job tomorrow. So, yeah. So shout out to Brian, and he's wearing his Connect to Your Yes t-shirt, and Brian has certainly connected to his yes. So congratulations, Brian. So let Brian serve as an example that we can all ascend. We could all ascend. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So Ernest Holmes opens the chapter in the Science of Mind textbook with, "Then this is the teaching, love and law." So August, we're focusing on the love part. Is that all right? Good. All right. So August is an invitation for us to deepen love, the teachings of love, because love is a teacher if we allow it to be. And so the teaching of love as a life force elevates and animates everything. Animates and elevates everything. So if you're in the presence of someone and you don't feel elevated and they're saying, "I love you," you might want to take another look at that for yourself. Because love is not just a sentiment that someone says, it is an action. It's more than a feeling. It is something that we actualize with each other and for ourselves. So we've been practicing universal principles every month. I'm not going to test you on what the principles were for January through July. But the principle that we are practicing for August is love. And the spiritual practice that we're going to marry with that is loving kindness. So loving kindness towards ourselves, loving kindness towards others, and especially loving kindness towards folks that may not be our first place to turn, loving kindness. Those people in our lives are really good practice for us. So our companion books this month, we have two. One is The Teaching on Love by Thich Nhat Hanh. His name is always a tongue twister for me. And the second is one of my favorite authors, Bell Hooks. And she has this book is amazing. It's called All About Love, New Vision. So I'm going to be referencing Bell Hooks and Thich Nhat Hanh and Ernest Holmes today. So you'll know how I like to start our new things, right? With what? The definition. All right. Yeah, definition. So our talk today is love ascents. Love ascents. So I want to share the definition of love from Ernest Holmes, Bell Hooks, and Thich Nhat Hanh. Ernest Holmes defines love as the self-givingness of spirit. I just looked up and my head is cut off. Oh. Is that better? Okay. Now you can see. Okay. Ernest Holmes defines love as the self-givingness of spirit. Bell Hooks shares a definition from M. Scott Peck, and he defined love as the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. Love is as love does. Love is an act of will, namely by an intention and an action. Will also implies choice. We do not have to love, we choose to love. And then Thich Nhat Hanh defines love as understanding. He says that love is understanding. He says that love is understanding's other name. And he explains that love is made of 4 key elements: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equilibrium. By nurturing our own happiness, we can cultivate true love and compassion for others. So that's the definitions we're using for love. For Ascent, the definition is a rising movement, movement upward from a lower to higher state, a movement or return towards a source or beginning. And the origin of the word ascent is from a Latin word that means to climb up. So when we're talking about love, we're talking about climbing up. We could think about it in the sense of consciousness, climbing up to love consciousness, the cosmic consciousness. So one of the points that we talked about last month with sacred play, did you have fun last month playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I was sharing from Matthew Fox's book, The Coming of the Cosmic Christ. And do you remember me sharing this from his book, The Coming of the Cosmic Christ? He said, we are all meant to be the mothers of God, and thus we are all called to birth the cosmic Christ in self and society. We are called to be bearers of this new paradigm, this living cosmology. We are called to be patterns that connect. You remember that? Patterns that connect. Yes? No? No? Okay. Well, this is your reminder. He said, we are being called to be patterns that connect and bearers of coherence to a society of separation. Ernest puts it this way. He said, Jesus was a consciously cosmic soul who recognized his unity with all. He knew that love must become universal before it reaches its maturity. So we're not just living for ourselves alone. We're living to be the pattern of connection. And connection is one of the things that we value here at Rockland CSL. So we are the patterns that connect, and we are the bearers of coherence, not chaos, coherence. So love's ascent is a choice we make to rise in conscious cosmic consciousness. It is a movement or return towards source with a capital S, towards God, towards love. So my question today is, are you willing? Are you willing to climb up in love consciousness?
Yeah.
Only Joan is.
Yeah.
Only Joan is willing. And are we willing to be bearers of oneness?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I want to share with you, some of you know my girlfriend, Deborah Riva. And I was with her yesterday. Sekou Fee and I went to her art exhibit. And it was extraordinary. It was on a horse rescue farm. Mm-hmm. And the horses do therapy. And it was just an amazing experience. And on the property, there's this huge barn, and they had the art exhibit in the barn. Wow. And so Deborah found this place because she was having challenges with her art. She would share with me, and she knows I'm sharing all this today, y'all. So she has shared with me often that she would walk into her studio and then walk right back out, not trusting her art. not trusting that she was an artist, that she can paint, right? And so she kept having this dance with herself, going in the studio and then turning around and walking out. Or she would go in the studio and she would paint something, but she hated it. She just thought it was the worst thing. Anyone can relate to this?
Yes.
Yeah. And so this kept happening. And so she decided to go to, it's called Spirit's Promise. She decided to go to Spirit's Promise and have a session with the horses. And it was very ascending for her. And when she left there, she felt a deeper connection with who she is. And she declares herself an artist. And while she was there, she got this divine idea to have an art exhibit. And she said it just came out of the blue. And she mentioned it to the owner. And the owner said, yes, let's do that. So months later, she got 4 other artists. And last night, they had the most extraordinary art exhibit. About 80 people showed up. They sold 20 pieces. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I told her this morning when I called her to congratulate her on taking action based on something that she loves, based on her gift, based on listening to Spirit speaking to her and saying, this would be a good space for an art exhibit. And then her taking action, reaching out to her community, and it coming into fruition in a way that exceeded what she thought that it would be. And everyone that was there benefited, not just from her yes, but connecting with each other as well. So Deborah, she loves herself. She loves herself so much that when she was facing resistance to the expression of her gift, she got support. She recognized that we are not here to go through this life alone. We are here to support each other, to love each other. And so that's what she did. And when she did that, and this was not like a simple thing, this took work to put on an art exhibit, her very first one. So now we could call her a curator, right?
All right.
There was some birthing pains, right? There were ups and downs, there were doubts, but what continued to lead her was the love that she has for this gift as an artist. And she allowed that to help her to continue to climb up instead of going down into despair. And it reminded me of what Matthew Fox wrote in the book. Birthing of the cosmic Christ is itself a cosmic act involving cosmic labor pains. It will not come cheaply. You have to put, what's that term? You have to put some skin in the game? Yes. You have to put some skin in the game. You have to take action. So another question I have for you all is, are you willing to rise in cosmic consciousness to birth the gift of love in the world through your own spiritual growth and maturity, and allow the teachings of love to support you in your ascent? Are you, other words, are you willing to allow love to guide you in your ascension?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So Thich Nhat Hanh shares that love is made of 4 key elements. I share them in the definition. Loving kindness. Can you say loving kindness?
Loving kindness.
Compassion.
Compassion.
Joy.
Joy.
And equanimity.
And equanimity.
So he says, by nourishing our own happiness, we can cultivate true love and compassion for others. So would you be willing to nourish your own happiness?
Yes.
Yes. Some of us believe, and I know no one here believes this, that other people are responsible for making us happy. And this shows up a lot in love relationships. He doesn't make me happy, or you're supposed to make me happy, right? But the question is, are you willing to nourish happiness within yourself? Because that's where the responsibility lies. And a wonderful way to nourish that love, that happiness, is through our gifts. It's through the things that we were born to express in the world. So what is the gift that you may be resistant? Deborah was resisting going in her studio, sitting down and painting. She would go in, she would go out. She would call me and she would say, I just can't paint. I just can't do it. And that was just part of her process. What if we looked at resistance as just part of our process? Something for us to move through and climb up from. Instead of saying, I'm so resistant, and then we do nothing. Or we say, I'm just going to wait till I don't feel resistant anymore. Anyone ever done that? I'm just going to wait until I feel like it. That's a good one too. So love Ascent calls us to not do that. To say to the one within us, the God in me, the God in you, that this gift that I have, that I hear calling to me, is calling us forth for our spiritual growth. Because each of us are here to give a gift. Otherwise, we would not be here. I'm so clear about that. We would not be here if we did not have a gift to give that the world needs. And how wonderful it is to remember that we do, because we forget. How wonderful it is to remember that we actually love the gift that we are. That is not an enemy. That is not something to run from, to fear. That we get to express it and to be in it through those 4 key elements that Thich Nhat Hanh invites us to embrace: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equilibrium. So, I usually give your homework, love work at the end. But today, today we're going to start our homework, love work now. So we're going to get a little head start. So just be comfortable where you are and close your eyes. And we're just going to go inward and allow your breath to take you in. And just take a cleansing breath, a grounding breath. Ernest Holmes says in this thing called You, he writes, you belong to the universe in which you live. You are the creative genius back of this vast array of ceaseless motion, this original flow of life. You are as much a part of it as the sun, the earth, and the air. There is something in you telling you this, like a voice echoing from some mountaintop of inward vision, like a light whose origin no one has seen, like an impulse welling up from an invisible source. There is something in you telling you. This something is love. This love that you already are. What is love telling you about who you are? And let us listen. What does love want us to know about who we are? Take a breath. Ask love, what are my gifts? What are my gifts? Sometimes I forget. And love is here to remind us, to help us remember. And so let your gifts climb up, ascent within your consciousness now. What are my gifts? Reclaim them now. And take a breath. And so we know that love actualizes. It actualizes through our activation and action. So ask love, what would love do or be in the world? What action would love take in expressing your gift? Just one action. What would love do? What action would love take? Take a breath. And just allow yourself to feel the vast array of ceaseless motion. The motion that never ends, that's expansion, that's expressive, that flows. This original flow of life breathes through you and breathes as you. And so we know what love would do. And so the question is, what will you do as love? What action are you willing to take to be in action with your gift that the world needs? Take a breath. And let us know that love invites us to stretch beyond comfort. Love invites us to be uncomfortable and to become active participants in the spiritual flourishing of ourselves and one another. Know that you get to share your gifts in the world and support others in sharing theirs, so that we ascend together as one. And take a breath. And so whatever has come up for you, you shall remember. And when you get home, you can open your eyes now. When you get home, you'll continue this love work by just writing down what came up for you. How's that sound? Yes? So let's anchor this with affirmative prayer. Let's go within. I recognize that there is one life, one infinite presence, one ground of being called love. This love is the life force that animates everything, the sacred intelligence that breathes galaxies into form and whispers through every heartbeat. It is the infinite one, known by many names, expressing as joy, as compassion, as equilibrium, and mostly as me, and mostly as you. I affirm that I am one with this presence, one with this power, one with this love. Love is the essence of my being. It is the essence of your being. We are rooted in it, sourced by it, and lifted through it. I am living, breathing expression of divine, made of love, for love, as love. So right now, I choose ascent. I choose to rise in consciousness. I choose to climb up in awareness, in practice, and in truth. And I return again and again to the source, to the origin of my being. I return to love. And so as we rise with intention. We affirm that love is a choice and an act of willingness, a choice to extend ourselves for spiritual growth of ourselves and spiritual growth supporting others. I declare that my love is not passive, it is alive, it is a practice, it is a presence. It is participation in the spiritual flourishing of all. So I nurture love and kindness, I nurture compassion, joy, I nurture equilibrium within myself, knowing that by cultivating these elements, I become a clear and powerful conduit of true love. My inner happiness overflows, touching the lives of others. Let us stand in the truth, knowing that we belong to this universe, to this grand creative intelligence that made each one of us out of itself. That we are part of the vast array of ceaseless motion, spirit unfolding itself through me and through each and every one of us. So know that there is a light within you whose origin is divine. There is a voice within you calling you higher. Will you say yes?
Yes.
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 Yes. I affirm that love's ascent is not mine alone, it is ours. As I rise, I uplift others and I share my gifts to make space for others to share theirs. So we ascend together as one body of love, one breath of spirit, one life in motion. And I am grateful. I am grateful for this movement. I am grateful for this motion. I am grateful for this love expressing through and as me and through and as you. I'm grateful for this love that lifts us up, that heals, and that transforms. I am grateful that we are the pattern of connection, that we are the bearers of cohesion, that we are ascending in cosmic love consciousness. And so I rest in this knowing that it is already done. And I release this into the law of love itself, knowing that it is activated in action through and as each one of us. And knowing that this is the truth, that love ascends through and as each of us. I release it and I say, and so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is. Amen. So thank you all for spending this time with us at Rockland CSL. Have a wonderful Sunday. Remember to continue your love work, yes? Yes. And take action. Take action. A seed has been planted. It's up to us to water it, to nurture it, to speak to it, speak love, loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equilibrium, right? Stay centered. Peace and blessings, everybody. Thank